Ticker News with Aaron Young. This is Ticker Today.
Hello, thanks for joining me today. President Trump puts pressure on the Fed, calling on Chair Powell to slash interest rates. The White House confirms a request as markets now brace for potential economic ripple effects. The US and Canada rebooting trade talks after Ottawa axes its controversial digital services tax. Both sides signal optimism, but was it a strategic retreat by Canada? Republicans push to pass Trump's domestic spending bill. Industry groups warn it could deliver a $7 billion blow to clean energy. The Diddy trial nears its dramatic end after weeks of courtroom drama, the jury now deliberating, and the music mogul facing the possibility of life in prison. And also a major case in Australia reaching a pivotal moment too. The jury decides the fate of a woman accused of poisoning her in-laws with deadly mushrooms. This is Ticker Today, bringing you the top stories shaping the world right now. First today, US President Donald Trump reaching out to Fed Reserve Chair Powell, requesting a reduction in interest rates. It's now been confirmed by the White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt during a press briefing. The letter reflects Trump's ongoing concerns about economic conditions. Here she is.
The one problem that remains is high interest rates for the American people. The American people want to borrow money cheaply, and they should be able to do that. But unfortunately, we have interest rates that are still too high. So the president sent this note to the Fed chair today. And if you look at this chart, this is a chart of all of the interest rates of many countries throughout the world. The president sent this note to the Fed chair. It says, "Jerome, you are as usual too late. You have cost the USA a fortune and continue to do so. You should lower the rate by a lot."
So now attention will be focused on Powell's response and the potential implications for the US economy. Meanwhile, the United States will resume trade negotiations with Canada following the country's decision to abolish its digital services tax aimed at US tech companies. The announcement made by the White House, and the move is expected to strengthen economic ties between the two nations now. Both countries hopeful the discussions will lead to further collaboration and trade benefits. Karoline Leavitt says Canada caved.
Prime Minister Carney in Canada caved to President Trump in the United States of America. And President Trump knows how to negotiate, and he knows that he is governing the best country and the best economy in this world, on this planet. And every country on the planet needs to have good trade relationships with the United States. And it was a mistake for Canada to vow to implement that tax. That would have hurt our tech companies here in the United States. The president made his position quite clear to the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister called the president last night to let the president know that he would be dropping that tax, which is a big victory for our tech companies and our American workers here at home.
Republicans are working quickly to secure passage of Donald Trump's domestic spending legislation, aiming for a self-imposed deadline by this Friday. However, analysts from a trade group now expressing concerns, stating that the bill could increase taxes on the clean energy sector by as much as $7 billion. The potential tax rise raising alarms now within the industry as stakeholders fear it may hinder growth. The outcome of the legislation could have significant implications for both the economy and the clean energy landscape. After 7 weeks of intense proceedings, the trial of Sean Diddy Combs now nearing its conclusion, the jury is currently in deliberation regarding the outcome of the case. He's defending 5 charges in the criminal trial, including racketeering, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. Combs pleaded guilty to all 5 charges. The jury in the trial of an Australian woman accused of murdering 3 elderly relatives of her estranged husband with poisonous mushrooms has now retired to deliberate and consider their verdict. The case has captured national attention also around the world, highlighting the serious nature of the charges. The trial has seen considerable public interest as details were presented in court over the past 6 to 10 weeks. A verdict now awaited by the jury as they consider their evidence. President Trump has revealed plans regarding TikTok. He says he has assembled a selection of affluent investors interested in acquiring the platform. Trump added that the deal will probably need Beijing's approval to move forward. The president made the off-the-cuff remarks while discussing the possibility of another pause of his reciprocal tariffs on Fox News.
It's like TikTok. I'm extending that, but no big deal. We have a buyer for TikTok, by the way. I think I'll need probably China approval, and I think President Xi will probably do it.
Who's buying?
I'll tell you in about 2 weeks.
A big technology company there.
Very, very wealthy people. It's a group of very wealthy people. But what I want to do is, and what I will do just sometime prior to the 9th, is we'll send a letter to all these countries There's 200 countries. You can't talk to all of them. No matter how many people you have, you can't talk to all of them.
Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg has announced the formation of a new division focused on AI named Meta Superintelligence Labs. The initiative aims to strengthen the company's AI capabilities significantly. The decision reflects Meta's commitment to advancing technology in this emerging field. Now, Meta shares reached a record high, reflecting strong investor interest in the company's new AI Superintelligence Group. Let's have a look at the markets now. The S&P 500 reached new record highs there. As you see, pretty much up everywhere. Bitcoin has been hovering around the $107,000 mark. The Aussie dollar sitting there as well, going through a bit of a difficult time. But the S&P 500 closing at 6,204. Marking a successful end to the second quarter. Despite the gains, UBS warning that investors should remain cautious as volatility may continue in the months ahead. We've heard that from the Fed as well. Analysts from Barclays also noting that a cautious stance is warranted due to the current economic environment and ongoing trade negotiations. And Coinbase has emerged as the top performing stock in the S&P 500 this June so far, driven by positive developments in the cryptocurrency sector. As we mentioned, the numbers going up, hitting close to 110,000 US dollars.